reSITE 2016, Cities in Migration, June 16th and 17th, Forum Karlín, Prague.
Well, I met Martin Barry in Warsaw and was so impressed with his work and what he had done in New York as well as what he had done in Prague. And then again, it's Prague. I love coming to Prague. It's a gorgeous city and it's a beautiful city. I was here 5 years ago and I'm not exactly sure. I don't think physically it's changed very much, and I've spent most of my time in the center of the city, so that's the historic part, which hopefully does not change too much. But I do detect now an increased sense of dynamism, increased sense of purpose, increased sense of sort of strategic thinking about where does the city go from here, and I think that's very positive. Well, I'm always interested. I love the fact that the planning department here has developed a plan, and it's a good foundation. We learn a lot from seeing what other cities are doing. The next step is how this gets implemented. I think the key, as I said earlier, is that there's got to be very strong municipal leadership. These plans and leading cities in the right direction don't get realized unless there is strong municipal leadership on both the public and private side that make it happen, as well as mutual trust between the public and private side. Plans regarding land are always contentious. There are always people on one side or the other, and the nature of this is that you've got to come to a reasonable consensus about how to go forward and be intelligent about it. And that really depends on people being strong and focused. First, I do look for inspiration everywhere. One of the things Europe does a lot better than the US generally is building infrastructure. And we learn a lot from seeing how Europe does that. We learn a lot about historic preservation from Europe. And at the same time, I think there is a degree of trial and error. We are always facing new challenges. We have had enormous successes in New York over the last 4 decades, but at the same time, every success generates new challenges and new problems that you have to address. And so now we've been extremely successful, but that success has increased our population so much that we now have a serious housing problem that we have to deal with, a housing crisis really. So how cities around the world are dealing with that crisis, not only build more affordable housing, but to build quality affordable housing and doing it in a way that makes neighborhoods feel comfortable, feel safer, feel that their quality of life is improving. I think that's a challenge we all face. I think that the one thing that we are particularly proud of is the diversity in New York, the demographic diversity, the economic diversity, the cultural diversity. And I think that to us is the essence of what makes us a great city. And I think that increasingly, as the world globalizes, that's I think important for every city, and it's hard because it's easier in the United States, which has been a country of immigrants, and everyone in the United States can trace their lineage back to some other country. It's harder in a place like the Czech Republic or in Prague or in many, many countries in the world which have not always had that. And so, to me, I think that's one of the great challenges that Prague faces.